Right, what else can I say? These little double zip bags are really useful, mostly IKEA branded, I think. I guess everybody knows of that brand. Really good for keeping things dry and keeping, say, your washing gear that is bound to get wet from making a mess over your clothes and other gear. I personally prefer to take a little chunk of hard soap. I like actually the old-fashioned Wright's coal tar soap. It has quite a strong smell to it, but it has a sort of freshness that at the end of the day, when you're feeling a bit stinky and you go into your shower, I tend to find that this soap is really good at getting rid of those horrible nifs that we all like to get shot of when we manage to take our first shower. Otherwise, again, that's something that it's just individual preference. You could, of course, take one of these little boxes, but little soap dishes, but they're not really very collapsible or anything. Personally, I prefer just to use one of these little zip bags. That works well enough for me. Right, let's move on to our water supply. Now, you may find some people absolutely love these hydration bladders. Personally, I tend to find that a couple of major problems really. One is that you never know how much water is left until you take that sort of final suck on the straw, and you find that dreaded nothing left, and then you've no idea when you're going to have the opportunity to fill up again. The other thing is that sometimes they leak. I guess this one's not too bad, but I've had a situation where, having filled the bladder, the thing doesn't, the top doesn't really seal very well, and end up leaving an embarrassing puddle on the floor of the hostel. Not a good thing. So I personally just prefer to either take my own bottle or just simply, and a lot of people will probably accuse me of being non-ecological with this, but if you just simply buy a small bottle, a half litre of water or a litre bottle, and then reuse it, I don't really see as that being harmful to the environment. A lot of these bottles obviously are designed as use once, but I found that they weigh next to nothing, and once you've used the water that's supplied with them, you can then just simply refill them at a fuente or a tap as and when you manage to come across one. When it comes to footwear, at the end of the day, well, let's say just during the day, I think we all have our own preferences in terms of boots, sandals, or trainers. I'm not going to venture into that one, because footwear is just so personal, really. Some people prefer fully fledged boots. A majority, I think, prefer to just simply walk in trainers. Depends on the terrain. If you're walking in France, the terrain is a lot harsher, so therefore I tend to find that you need more substantial and thicker soles. For the evening, the first time round, I've worn these Innovate Rocklight 190s on 3 Caminos now. They're really quite strong, and they only weigh about just over 200 grams each. So they're really good to wear in the evening. You've got toe protection for walking around towns, plenty of airflow to your feet, so they're very good at sort of giving your feet a bit of an airing at the end of the day when you're just exploring around the local hamlet, village, town, wherever you happen to be. The other thing that's very useful to carry, some sort of packet cubes. I personally love these Eagle Creek ones. They are quite expensive, but they weigh next to nothing, and they do tend to, so far touch wood, they seem to be fairly strong. The zips so far haven't got stuck, but they're very good at helping you separate your clothing into different categories. Put your undergarments in one bag, shirts, trousers, shorts in another one, and particularly some hostels, the municipal ones, where there's very little room provided for emptying your rucksack and checking the contents, etc. These are particularly useful in that scenario. Some hostels, you're not even allowed to take your backpack into the room. It has to be left outside. So again, these can be quite useful to just simply take your clothes with you to the bed, or maybe even into the shower. Okay, so just to finish off, a couple of minor things. There may be just a few of you who would like to take your Camino more slowly, maybe paint a few scenes rather than just take thousands of photographs, or rather in addition to. In which case I can recommend these little painting sets. Obviously that's going to add more weight to your overall gear, but they're very much self-contained, and once you take the top off, the top just fits on the side there to provide you with a water well, and then inside you have your paints, a little paintbrush, a water reservoir that you can just fill up anywhere you like. Obviously in addition to this you're going to need to carry some sort of artist pad, but again, you know, if you're taking your time, maybe it's not your first Camino, so subsequent ones you may decide to take more slowly, but there you go, these kits are very good. And one last thing, I think possibly more for the ladies. I think I can't imagine what it's really for, or maybe it's some kind of whistle or drinking straw, but just to finish on a lighter note anyway. Thank you for listening. Bye bye. Y buen camino. Okay, so just to finish off, a couple of minor things. There may be just a few of you who would like to take your Camino more slowly, maybe paint a few scenes rather than just take thousands of photographs, or rather in addition to. In which case I can recommend these little painting sets. Obviously that's going to add more weight to your overall gear, but they're very much self-contained, and once you take the top off, the top just fits on the side there to provide you with a water well, and then inside you have your paints, a little paintbrush, a water reservoir that you can just fill up anywhere you like. Obviously in addition to this you're going to need to carry some sort of artist pad, but again, you know, if you're taking your time, maybe it's not your first Camino, so subsequent ones you may decide to take more slowly, but there you go, these kits are very good. And one last thing, I think possibly more for the ladies. I think I can't imagine what it's really for, or maybe it's some kind of whistle or drinking straw, but just to finish on a lighter note anyway. Thank you for listening. Bye bye. Y buen camino.